bit more progress. So these Z20 throttle bodies, they don't have a traditional kind of paper gasket. They have these rubber O-rings, one each side. So before I get the engine in, they're not that expensive, a few pounds each, so it's worth changing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to swap these out. I'll give it a bit of a clean, and we'll get it refitted. The reason why it's so important to make sure that it's sealing is because it's a MAP sensor fitted engine rather than a MAP sensor. Any air leaks you get past the or after the airflow meter causes havoc with fueling, so it's well worth. I think these were about £2.50 each, so not mega money really, but for what they'll save from chasing around air leaks, under fueling, over fueling, it's well worth the hassle. So yeah, so that's all on, all torqued down. Important to torque them so you don't over tighten and crush the gaskets and kind of go against what they're there for really. You crush them too much and they won't work, so it's important to torque them down. So that's all done. Gearbox is a F25 speed. It's got a Quaife limited slip diff in there. Flywheel and clutch wise, so it's got the standard flywheel. It's got a bit of a mix and match clutch option, so it's got a Z20 LET pressure plate with a CG Motorsports 5-puck paddle friction disc, so that should do more than enough for what I wanted for. I was going to fit the F28. I had one previously, very heavy, and I want the car to be quite nimble and for the power that I want. I think the F20 will do perfectly fine, aiming for around 270, 280 horsepower, which is quite a bit of power to put through an F20, but there are plenty of people that have run them, and as the car is relatively light, it shouldn't pose any issues. I had the F28 on my old 2-litre Z20 LET, which was around 300-400 horsepower. Very, very good. But parts are very hard to find for them now, so yeah, F20 I've got quite a few spares anyway, so I've got this one. I've got one outside the garage. I've got that one there, which is actually an F16 close ratio, which I want the casing for really, for the mounting points for the cable shifter. There's a cable shifter it's here, so it's something that I will be doing in the future. So in relation to the shifting mechanism, conventionally it runs through this rod. But I'm going to move to a cable shifted operation, which is this, which is a so it's a shifter from a Vauxhall Vectra, so it's an F17, which bolts straight on, and then you obviously the cables connect here and here rather than conventional rod type. Now the reason for that is the gear shifting mechanism usually comes through here and then sits in the tunnel, but effectively what I want to do is I want to run a 3-inch system all the way down, and by running the cables out of the way, and rather than the kind of traditional rod linkage, it should give me a bit more space. So as you can see, this is the standard Z20XE clutch, which came off the engine that was in the car previously. And as you can see, spline count there is a lot finer, and that size wise is exactly the same, so they're 228mm, which is a good size, but as I said, this one was no good, wouldn't last very long in a turbo application, so I did get so this is the receipt. So it's a CG Motorsports paddle drive plate for Vauxhall Astra 2 litre 16 valve C20XE. So that is the, if you're doing a similar conversion and you do want to run an F20 or F16 or F18 gearbox, then that's the drive plate you want, or friction plate you want, from CG Motorsports. 3500727. Wasn't that badly priced really. I had it on a Black Friday, so I had a bit of discount, so came to 128.75 delivered, which is pretty good. So yeah.